This is from CBS Sports. One thing we learned about each team preseason week number one. For the Browns, the trenches could be an issue. Jedrick Wills, Jack Conklin already banged up. Depth center Luke Whippler went down against the Packers as the offense struggled. Deshaun Watson and company could have an unstable front. I believe Wills and Conklin will be back. If not, it could be a rough ride at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, they're going to need at least one of those guys to come back, especially if it's Will, so they can shore up the left side of that offensive line. Because at right, you can afford to have to obviously afford to have DeJuan Jones in there until Jack Conklin gets back, or even when Jack Conklin gets back, and then be pretty good to go. It's kind of the thing. Obviously, we've talked all off season about how it feels like they have three offensive tackles for two starting spots, and right now, two of them just they still need the extra time to get ready to go. And the bottom line is, as we've seen throughout this preseason and training camp, they just need one of those two guys back. They really need to solidify that left side of that offensive line, solidify left tackle, and then they can try to be good to go for the season going forward. But if, like I said, if they don't have one of those two guys, when you got to play the Cowboys coming up with Micah Parsons in week one, that's going to make for a very tricky matchup to deal with. They got one of those guys got to be able to come back and get their feet under them and ready to go for the start of the season.
Yeah, and I get it. You don't want them. You don't want them out there until they're ready to go because, I mean, the line you get beat up on the offensive and defensive lines pretty much every play.